What's good? I am Zane Thomas, and I am here on Across the Street with Jimbo Shoutouts.
So I've been living in Portland for a second, right? There's some things about Portland that other people don't like that I personally love, right? For example, bicyclists, love them. So for the other day, I almost got hit by the same bike 3 times in the same spot, right? It was a vicious cycle.
I am here today with Zane Thomas. What is up, my friend?
How's it going?
Good, good. We got a cigarette smoker in the house, too.
That's right. I didn't get it lit, but I am a smoker. I'm not a professional, though.
We're here today at Madison High School, the rebuilt Madison High School. This is where I went to high school many years ago. I was just telling Zane, this street corner right here is where I smoked my first cigarette.
Your very first cigarette.
My very first cigarette.
That's impressive.
Shout out to Laney.
Yes. Thank you for a lifelong addiction. And millions of dollars spent on something that you probably shouldn't.
I appreciate it, Laney. Thanks, Laney.
But God, you'd probably look cool doing it, right?
That's what I thought. So what's hot, Zane? What's going on?
What's
going on in your life?
I just got done doing the Smoke Break. And Smoke Break's a podcast that I do every Saturday from 2 to 3 on Shady Pines Radio.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about a year now.
About a year?
Yep.
All right.
I've been doing that. I do it with 2 of my best friends. We talk about mental health, we talk about video games, we talk about the news. So we just kind of try and cover everything that's important to us and stuff that we want to share with the world.
Right. Has the Pondcast gone well? You got good results so far? Or?
Yeah. We have a sponsor. We have, I've had people reach out, and I've gotten opportunities because of the Smoke Break. So it was something I never really expected to have, but I'm super grateful to have it and be a part of it.
I just watched or listened to episode 11, I think, before I showed up here. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dope. Well, thank you for giving us a listen.
That's the newest one, right?
Yeah, that's the newest one with Adam Posse, Portland's funniest person.
Yeah, that was a cool little episode. That was fun. You got the great radio voice, of course.
Oh, thank you.
Super funny, of course.
I appreciate it.
You are a town comedian as well, correct?
Yes. I actually started off doing comedy. I started off doing comedy in Iowa, probably back in 2016, and then I came out here and thought I'd give it a try for real, and made it to the finals of Portland's Funniest Person contest in 2018.
All right. Who beat you?
Oh man, just better comics.
Better comics?
Yeah, easily better comics. But it was a really cool experience, and it's subjective.
Right. Well, did you learn anything from the competition?
Yeah, I learned that I need to believe in myself a little bit more.
Okay.
I think that is, there's a lot of people that encourage me, you being one of them, Jimbo.
Thank you.
I just need to see what other people see in me.
You've been the test guinea pig, actually, for a couple projects of mine, unknowingly.
Yes.
Kitchen Cuts, which is something we did with Jesse Spomberg and Dirty Black during the New Year's Eve celebration of 2021.
Yeah.
That was a cool experience.
That was a super cool experience. I was really grateful to be a part of that. Just coming in and being able to share my music, because I started off doing comedy, but music's my passion, and I don't always get to talk about it or share it. So when somebody reaches out and is like, hey, I want to hear what you have, it means a whole hell of a lot.
It was super fun. Also, this show's I had these microphones for about 4 months sitting in my house, and Zane came over for a photo shoot one day, and I said, let's try the microphones. And he was my test guinea pig.
I was, and I'm still getting used to looking at the camera, so bear with me. I'm new to the whole camera experience.
How's the Portland hip-hop scene treated you? I think that's probably one of the more fun questions I get to ask. You're a rapper as well.
Yes, I'm a rapper as well. Honestly, the people like Swiggle have just been super supportive, and just, it's I get that my style of rap may not be for everyone, but the people who it is for are super supportive. And even though there's people who I'm like, man, maybe I don't fit in here, there's definitely rappers who've reached out and been like, yeah, but you fit in here. So it's the places where you don't fit in, you can find places where you fit in better.
You had a little event there at the Big Legrowski for a while. Are you still doing that as well? Or?
Not doing that currently. They decided to go different directions. So yeah, I'm currently looking at doing some new projects and stuff.
And from what I understand, you're one of the formative members of Late Lyrics.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true. Yeah, Sharista and I, we knew each other through comedy, and I always wanted to do a music open mic, so I went ahead and started it, and you know, she saw a lot of potential in it and did the things that like I wish that I was a harder worker so that way I could do, and her and Echo just did such a good job with it after I left. You know, it's a cool thing to be a part of Portland's legacy.
I think so too. She's a great job promoting.
Oh, she's just a great person.
Yeah. I got to see her last night. We were at the Swiggle Mandela record release party at Rainbow City.
Yeah. How was that?
That turned out really fire.
Oh,
Super good experience.
Good.
Super
I
fun.
wanted to be there so bad, but I worked. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say anybody who didn't show up to that kind of missed out. It was a good one.
Yeah, Swiggle always puts on a solid show. And he's always so encouraging during his shows. Like, he has a stage presence that I really want to emulate.
No, he did. Last night he turned everybody up really nice. Antelope Fishermen were there. There was a bunch of features. JC Cordetta, Timmy Hendrix, of course.
Yeah.
Super cool night, though. A lot of vendors. Plus all the Portland celebs I saw last night. You know, Roulette Delgado, Carissa Dez.
Dude.
Boski Rock.
There's just so many cool people in the scene that it's like, you know, when you go to an event, especially when it's supported by like so many people, that you run into other people from, you know, like Carissa Dez were from, who I met through the activist scene. So
yeah, I had a short time to catch up with her and her new life and how things she's going with her, and she seems real busy too. So
no, that's solid.
How's the quarantine treated you? Did you learn anything new, or did you get bad at anything?
Did I get bad at anything? Yes, that's a solid question. I think I got better at comedy, just because you know, I had the opportunity to share some of my jokes and stuff. You know, over the past couple years, I've dealt with like mental health, so it's like trying to figure out how to put that stuff into words and come out of it with a story that's, you know, that's honest, but it's also, you know, something that you can laugh at. So. Yeah, I had a really great opportunity with that, and you know, just trying to build up my self-confidence.
I give you some credit for addressing the mental health thing. I think that's really important that we talk about that, especially as men, and even myself had a little bit of a mental crisis this year, and you and Jesse Spomberg were nice to come over one day and smoke my weed with me.
I do what I can. I do what I can.
Is there anybody in the Portland game that you kind of want to work with or haven't had a chance to?
Yeah, man, C3. C3, I think, would be a lot of fun.
C3 the Guru.
C3 the Guru. I ran into him at a lot of protest shows, and he was just a super warm dude. And yeah, he reached out on a day that I wasn't doing too hot, and he's like, yo, let's build. And you know, it meant a whole lot.
He's got swag too.
Yeah. Him and Emiliano and Diction. Those
Diction
three
would be a good one.
Oh,
That'd
man, those
three.
Yeah, Diction. I ran into Diction. I actually met him through Adam Posse is the person who was on the smoke break today. He's Portland's funniest person. Mm-hmm. We lived right out back of Diction, and like they ran into each other. He's like, Diction? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? You guys know each other? It was the craziest thing. They start talking. He's like, yo, you're a rapper. You guys would fucking vibe. And Diction has been like just one of the biggest homies just ever since I met him.
Raps, I call him Portland's Rap Yoda.
Oh my God.
Like, I was with him for like 2 minutes the other day, and I gave him some weed called Sitting Bull, and I had my 12th fact in 30 seconds from Diction, you know. He's just like, he knows everybody. He's been around for a long time.
Dude, I love listening to that dude talk.
What's some of your favorite Portland moments so far? Have you had any cool like experiences on stage, like as a comedian or as a rapper, I guess?
Sure. So there was this one time I was working at Helium Comedy Club, and I was picking up cups and everything, and they don't usually hire comedians because usually we just want stage time. So there was this one night that was kind of slow, and I was like, hey, is there any way that I could do a guest spot? They're like, yeah, sure, get up there. So a guest spot means I do 5 minutes. So I go up there, I tell my first joke, it's a pun, right? Fucking everybody starts booing, and I'm like, oh God. And then the boo turns into an applause break where everybody's clapping by the end of it, and I was like, oh shit.
You turned it around?
Got the biggest smile, I killed it for the next 5 minutes. And
was there any more puns in the set?
Oh man, it was all puns. That's all I do. It's literally like one of my jokes is it's all like this with the knife finger gun. But I wrap up my set and I'm like, I'm just feeling fucking great. I'm walking around picking up cups. This guy gives me a high five. He's like, hey, that was a really good set. Hands me some money. And as a busser, I'm like, cool, throw it in my pocket. And I'm walking around for a little bit and I was like, how much did he give me? And I go to like check my pocket. I pull it out. It's a fucking $100 bill.
All right.
$100 bill for 5 minutes. And I go back to this dude and I'm just like, hey, I think you gave me too much money. And he's like, nah, man, I really respect what you do. I gave you exactly how much I wanted to.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. He was also super drunk, so, I take it with a grain of salt.
What about a time, as a rapper and a performer, I've been on stage and not had it go so well. How about you as a comedian? Has there been times where you've just
bomb?
Tucked your head and bombed,
Yeah. I did a show for, somebody wanted me to host a show, and I was like, I hadn't done comedy in a really long time, and I was like, sure, I'll try it. He told me it was for a Juggalo show, and I was like, all right, Juggalos, that shouldn't be that bad. It was the worst fucking show I've ever had. Like, if you thought my puns kind of bombed at that last story, they really bombed at this. They did not like my jokes about puns. They didn't like my jokes about having a lesbian mom. They didn't like my jokes about being half black. There was nothing that was hitting, and I had to keep going up after I already bombed that set to introduce the next person.
Were you trying to do like the little joke in between?
Oh, no. After I bombed the first part, I was like, there's nothing I can say to these people that's going to recover this.
Coming up next, boom.
Yeah, I'm like, the next person is still mad at me about that last show. So bad.
We'll go check out the little garden here. They got we're at the Glen Haven Community Garden.
Okay, cool.
Let's go see what they got. I'm kind of curious.
Are you into gardening at all?
I don't know if I am. I think I would be.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not too community. You have to have special permission.
Yes, the community fence that keeps out the community.
Yeah, looks like a cool little spot there.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Something for people to do.
Today was actually my grandmother's celebration of life. I was not able to make it to that. Yeah.
Oh,
but
different state or?
Different state, yeah. But she was also always like super supportive of me and my arts and things. Just my comedy, my music, she always just wanted to see me do it. And I got a really big show at the end of this month that I'm nervous about, but I think that she would want me to stay and work on that.
Where's the show at the end of the month?
The show at the end of the month is going to be at Artichoke Music. They are going to be doing a thing called Summerfest, and it's going to be, I believe, it's a 3-day event. And I will be hosting for 2 of those nights, Friday and Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How'd you get that opportunity?
I actually, through Shady Pines Radio, which is they're my people, Callie and Brian, super dope people. I did a show for them and somebody watched my set and they're just like, hey, I want you to perform.
Oh, wow.
And they really liked my music and then they researched me a little bit and they're like, hey, can you do some comedy and some storytelling too? And I was like, holy shit, I've always wanted to share my story and have some laughs and, explain a little bit where the songs come from too. So it's a really cool opportunity.
Well, I will say, knowing you for, 2-3 years now, maybe 4 or something, I don't know, there's lots of levels to you, man. There's lots of levels to you.
Hey, I appreciate
you're funny,
that.
You're an artistic guy, you're well thought out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good.
No, I have,
cool.
Yeah, what is this?
It's like park art?
Yeah. This is probably about the coolest part about walking around like this is that you get to stop and look at things that you wouldn't normally check out.
It's like steel too. It's like
yeah. It can't possibly be a toy because I don't know how you would play on that.
Yeah.
But
there's like a big cornucopia, I think they call that.
Yeah.
That looks like a pipe.
It's like a dolphin. It's like a weird metal. Those are the robot dolphins of the future.
This park holds a lot of special memories for me. I used to watch my friends play Babe Ruth baseball here at the ballpark over there.
Okay.
Some of my first childhood moments are from this neighborhood. So
yeah, playing baseball, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
This is the spot for it. You can grow a garden in your free time.
Shout out to all my Madison heads, class of '96.
Class of '96.
Putting it in. Yeah. Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to high school in Southern Oregon, a very small white town.
What town was
Burns,
that?
Oregon.
Burns, Oregon.
So you know the place where the militia showed up and there was that, they took over the bird sanctuary? That's the place.
That's the place.
That's the place.
What was it like living there as an African-American young man?
Oh man. Being 6 foot tall with an afro and a lip piercing, pretty much the same dude I am now. About as hard as you would think. About as hard as you would think. Gave me some material though.
They loved you out there, man.
Oh yeah, huge fans. Somebody was just like, hey, can I touch your hair? And I'm like, come on, man. It's may I touch your hair? Manners, right? Manners.
It's always been kind of cool too, getting to know like, who were some of the early people that kind of like, helped you along your way? I know you mentioned a few names already, but
Sure.
who were some of the early, just like, I don't know, influencers of your comedy and or maybe your rap?
So influencers of like my comedy and my rap. Comedy, I would definitely just say like my grandpa, he would tell really bad jokes, but he would do it with a really straight face, and I fucking honored that. Like he would tell you a bad joke that he told a million times, like he had never told it before. Like he was telling it for the first time and you were surprised, and I love that about him. And as far as like, as far as hip hop and stuff went, I'd say like Atmosphere. That was like, I heard that shit on Tony Hawk. I'm like, this is something that like I can relate to,
Wow.
I finally felt like my voice was being represented. And from then it made me want to be that to somebody else. I wanted to put my voice out there and maybe somebody else could look at what I do and be like, hey, that's me. I didn't feel like somebody like knew me like that, but.
I'm pretty impressed with how many people that got their culture of rap music through video games. You're like, I don't think you're the first person I've heard that from. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Playing video games has been like it's a huge part. It's a huge influence. It's like I said, I have a podcast. We talk about video games. So, that's why I picked up a guitar.
I almost forgot. I brought you a gift.
Oh, thank you.
You can do what you want with it, but.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
You can smoke now or smoke later, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Shit, I brought one for me too.
How far away do I have to be from that?
No, this is great. I can't believe how much this neighborhood has changed. It really does look different. That wasn't there when I was a kid, the whole slide thingy or whatever. I don't remember any of that.
That shit looks pretty space age.
Yeah. And then the skate park that they added over here is pretty dope.
Did you ever skate? Was that?
I skated a little bit as a youngster. Shout out to my homie Adam Kennard and his big brother Brian. They were the ones that got me into skating as a young kid.
Sure.
Yoli dude. That was like the neighborhood saying. Yoli dude.
Yoli dude? Is that like a saying? Is that like like a fucking gnarly? Like...
Yeah. Yoli dude. If you
dude.
If you didn't Yoli, you were fucking out of here.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I say we bring that back. Class of 96.
Wow, I'm kind of really just taken back if I'm being honest. It's really neat.
Also, this show is now called Cross the Field.
Yeah.
It's been decided.
We just decided that.
Yes.
I didn't bring a belt, so I'm like pulling up my pants the whole time. Walking across. I feel like an idiot. Let's go check out the skate park. Did you skate? Are you?
Yeah. I tried to skate, and it was because I played video games. I was like, oh man, I did it on Tony Hawk. Maybe I can fucking do it in real life. All I ever got down was an ollie, and I was pretty proud of that. But I longboard. That's probably what I do now.
You still longboard?
Yo, still longboard. Busted my ass. Busted both of my wrists at the same time.
That shit seems dangerous to
It's
me.
very dangerous.
You get going too fast and it's like hard to stop? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I bought a car and I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that.
Is that the first time you've had a car in a while? Or?
Oh man, I had a car with my ex, and then when we split, then it was just a financial problem. But now it's like, I'm an adult and I get to choose, what I want my life to look like next. And,
You're like, I want a car.
I want a car, yeah. my future life has a car in the future.
So you working 9 to 5? You got a regular gig or?
Yeah. Clean carpets. I got that gig, clean carpets for hospitals during the pandemic. So that was job security and hazard pay. So definitely been super great. It allowed me to get the car, and on top of that, my boss lets me go to open mics and shit during the clock. So don't tell my boss, but
well,
one of my boss says it's okay.
Your secret's safe with our 301 subscribers.
All right, dope. Yeah, the show's been going good. This is a really cool thing, and I'm really glad that you've put this together. And you know, you're sharing all the voices around this place.
Yeah, let's get the stories told. I think everybody has a story, and an intricate part of our culture here is the hip hop scene and comedy scene and whatever it may be. But
yeah, the art scene.
The art scene. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got some pets over there. You like pets? You a pet guy?
Oh man, I wish I could have a pet. I wish I could have a pet just because, you know, the companionship's solid.
Right.
But I'm afraid I can't take care of it. I feel like that's the only thing slowing me down.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. And most people don't even think that far. Some people are just like, I want a pet, and then they fucking...
Get a dog that they can't take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I have a hard time feeding myself.
Right, no, absolutely. I'm like, I barely remember to eat. Now I have to remember to feed something? Come on.
Well, we've had a lot of violence around our city lately that's kind of disturbing, and there's been a lot of division in the hip hop scene, it seems like, which is slowly eroding, I feel like.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the city of Portland or to our music scene or?
Well, because I'm not super close to it and I don't know that much about it, I won't say too much, but communication is a powerful tool. And if you can find a way to say what you want to say and be authentic to yourself, but also get across the point that you're hurt or you're upset or you would like things different, it's a valuable tool that we could all learn. And you're wordsmiths. Like, find a way to say it.
That's good. That's great. I think that's communication. I mean,
communication.
It's kind of how we start every ball rolling, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like we talk to people every day, but like nobody really told us how to talk to anybody. Does that make sense?
It's very true.
Like, they just kind of throw you out there. They tell you what not to say after you've already said it. But like, beyond that, nobody's like, hey, if you would like to talk to somebody and ask them for something, maybe you shouldn't, first make everything about you. Just there's little things that you can do to be true to yourself and still get what you want.
Well, what is it that you do to help the comedy scene here in town or the local hip hop scene? What is it you do to help kind of move the ball around, if you will?
I try and be as authentic as possible. I try to be honest. I try to be real. I'm not as a part of either of those scenes as much as I would like to be. But I always hope that when people look to me or at me that they see that I'm trying to be a positive light the best I can.
That's good. That's a positive message, yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's what we do. We all wake up in the morning and just try and be the best we can be, so. No,
for sure. And it's like, I have not been the best me I can be, and that's exactly why I want to be the best me I can be today, and I want other people to be that best person, even if they haven't always been the best person they can be,
We had a couple other people on the show that have opened up about addiction and struggles. Is that something in your life that you struggle with?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was addicted to meth 11 years ago. And I ended up getting busted with it, which was, a really traumatic experience. I thought my life was over, and I actually got offered an opportunity to go to China, teach English, and change my life.
Wow.
And it was a super lucky opportunity, but it really just kind of proved to me that, like, if you do look for a way to make things better, like, there is room for your life not to just be over.
That's you went from using meth to going to China to teach.
Yeah.
I take it that ended the cycle of the meth use?
Yeah. Well, the fact that they would probably kill me if I used meth in China made it a little less appealing. But yeah, it hasn't been something that I use. And, it's like, to be completely honest, there's when it comes to recovery, there's people who say, like, maybe, ex-heroin users shouldn't use Suboxone, or maybe ex-meth addicts shouldn't use Adderall. But it's like, there's a certain amount of brain chemistry that comes into it that, if something is setting your brain into the right motion and you are still functioning, I think that we should be able to, respect recovery in all of its different forms.
I've always wondered that, like someone that doesn't use heroin anymore but smokes weed.
Sure.
I call that a success.
Yeah, exactly. Harm reduction. Harm reduction is what my therapist called it. She was just like, you used to smoke meth and all you smoke is weed? Fucking sweet. And I was like, thank you. Yeah. Everybody else was just mad that I wasn't perfect yet. And, I think there just needs to be more of a a message of, you know, hey, you are getting better, and I see you.
That's a great message. That's a great message. Nope, we got a couple minutes left here. You want to get some shout outs before we take off?
Just wanted to shout out Shady Pines Radio for giving me the opportunity to do the smoke break every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m.
All right.
And I wanted to thank them. And I wanted to thank Adam from Artichoke Music for inviting me to do the festival at the end of this month.
Dope.
Other than that, I want to shout out Jimbo for fucking having me.
Thank you, friend. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
I appreciate you.
Well, man, look at this place. It all looks different. There's the old, used to be the carpet store. Now it's like a homeless shelter of some sort. I don't know what it is now. Yeah.
Just a graffiti spot.
Graffiti spot, yeah, there you go. No, you've been a great friend, Zane. I consider you a real one.
I appreciate it.
If there's ever anything I can do for you in the future, just let me know.
Right back at you. Right back at you.
Other than that, it's been great having you. And
thank you, Clam.
we will see you soon.
Sounds good.
Cheers.